Hey guys, it's burpee week and my birthday week, so of course I chose my favorite movement as the movement of the week for this week. So burpees, most people hate them, which I don't really understand why, because they are a great total body exercise. They require no equipment and they not only get your heart rate up, but they help build strength, and there's a lot of different options and ways that you can modify them. So burpees are awesome because, like I said, they're total body, they get your heart rate up. Now, you can go all the way down into a plank position doing burpees, or you don't have to go to the ground at all. So there are a ton of ways to make them accessible for everyone. So I'm gonna break down a basic traditional burpee, then I'm gonna show you some things that you wanna think about when you're doing them, and then I'll give you some options. So, traditional burpee starts from a standing position. You can reach your arms up to start if you want, or you're just here. You come down, placing your hands underneath your shoulders. Now when you're here, you can bend the knees, or you can stay up a little bit higher, but you're jumping back into a plank position. So from here, my hands are about shoulder distance apart, and I'm jumping back to a plank position. Now notice that I'm not dipping down into that plank or throwing my butt up in the air. Just like a regular plank that you would do, same thing here. We're just adding a plank in, then we jump the feet in, and then we come up. You might add a little jump on the top, or maybe you just go down, out, in, up. Okay? So there is a traditional burpee. I know some people will teach burpees where you come all the way down and up, and I would consider that more of a sprawl that you would see in like wrestling or MMA. Coming all the way down. For me personally, I don't think it's necessary to come all the way down to the ground because you're not getting any of the core work out of a burpee if you're just collapsing into it. So that's why I would say come to that plank, engage through the core, engage through the shoulders, the muscles, and then come back up. There's no need to collapse to the ground and then come back up. So traditional burpee, you're jumping back. Another option, when you're doing this, you want to come back, you might step into that plank, and that's just fine. We want to feel that engagement through the legs, through the glutes, through the core, through the shoulders, everything, and then maybe you step back in, and then come back up. So you can step back into burpees. You don't have to jump, because they can be a little compressive on the joints if you're jumping back, just like jumping in general, it's high impact. It's going to affect your joints a little bit more. So if you're feeling it in your knees or your hips or your joints, step back into that plank, step in, and then come up. Now, you might also say, well, maybe I can't hold a full plank. So you come down, maybe you step 1 foot back, so you're in a low lunge, in, and then up. And then you do the other side, in, up. So there's another variation. Maybe coming all the way down to the ground is just not happening today. That's fine too. We might do a squat, a lunge back, in and up, and then doing the other side, lunge back, in and up. Now, you might say, well, that's a completely different move than coming to a plank. Yeah, it is. It's a squat and a lunge versus a squat and a plank. But it's still something, and it's still a movement, and it's basically just taking a movement and saying, okay, how can we make this accessible for someone that maybe doesn't want to or can't come down to the ground? So there are always options for burpees. So if you say, I don't do burpees, or I can't do burpees, or I hate doing burpees because of this, then modify it, change it up. We're gonna do a ton of variations of burpees this week, all the way from some maybe burpee pull-ups, maybe some burpees with a tuck jump, maybe a burpee with a push-up. There are tons of ways that you can spice up burpees, again, without adding equipment if you don't want to, and just make them fun. I think that's why burpees get a bad rep, because people think they're not fun when they're just doing basic burpees over and over and over again. So add some variation, add some spice to them, and make them fun, and I guarantee you'll get your heart rate up, you're gonna feel stronger, you're gonna get that core engagement, finding that plank, you're working your muscles, and it's just the functional movement and mobility of getting up and down off the ground, which I think is really important. So get ready for some fun burpee variations this week. I cannot wait. It's going to be an awesome week. Burpee birthday week. I will see you at the studio.